just wait. Hold on tight. I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us. If we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore.
As you can tell from the intro to my video, I'm completely besotted by my family. One thing though, maybe you haven't picked up on yet, is I really, really love my job. I think that working in the nonprofit sector is one of the very best ways that you can make a living. And I love being in a leadership position in a nonprofit because I get to create the culture that I want to be in. And I get to develop new leaders that can go out and do bigger and better things in the world. I've been doing this work for 23 years, and there are a few things that make me really good at it. One of those things is that I have a deep and abiding compassion for people who struggle. I don't mind sitting across the table from someone who is clearly at the end of their rope and doesn't know what to do next. I don't mind hanging out with people who are very different than me and who struggle with very different things than I struggle with. But caring for people, standing up for people, isn't the only thing that can make you good as a nonprofit leader. One of the other characteristics that I have that I think makes me really good at what I do is I do not mind taking a risk. Now, I'm not really going to be like the risk taker who goes up in an airplane and jumps out or, flies off a cliff. That's not my kind of risk. But if you're talking about the kind of risk that is making a phone call that seems a little crazy, asking for something that seems beyond the limits of what someone is willing to give, if it's a risk of trying something that has never been tried, those are risks I love to take. If I've thought them through, if I feel like the benefit could seriously outweigh any negative impact. I also am a creative problem solver. I had a boss one time tell me, and I don't really think she liked me very much, but she did grudgingly say one time, if we're trying to figure something out, I always want Shannon in the room because I know she's going to come up with a creative solution. Here's another thing that makes me good at what I do in nonprofits. I actually have like this vision where I can see what can exist in spite of what does exist. Sometimes you have to look beyond what is in front of you. In nonprofits, resources are very scarce sometimes. You don't always have the amount of money or the number of people or even the will of the community to do the things that you're trying to do. So you have to be able to look at something and say, doesn't happen the way we want it to happen now, but it can happen that way. How do we get there? These are some things that I think make me not only great for the organizations that I've worked for, but they could also make me great for your organization. I love to talk to people about how to take an idea and turn it into something really sustainable and impactful in their community. I love to talk about how do we grow leaders in places where it's hard to work, but our work is important. And I love to talk about things that impact every single organization, whether it's a nonprofit or not. Things like individual performance, team performance, organizational performance, and even challenges every organization faces. So, I'm Shannon. I hope you've learned a little bit about me, and I hope that you will continue on this journey with me throughout this e-portfolio that I've put together for you. If you have any questions, I cannot wait to answer them.